So, through the podcast that you and Chris have been doing, is there, and you talk to so many different people about so many different topics, and is there anything that's sort of stood out as a learning curve?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think to me, what has stood out the most is how can I say this? The mental makeup of those that flourish and those that don't. And I think sometimes, in my personal opinion, there's a lot of confusion when it comes to those that are succeeding at the highest of levels and those who aren't. And there's this concept where people say, "Oh, they're just like you and I. You can do it too. They're no different than you and I." I've actually found out to be a lie. The most highest performing people are nothing like regular people, in my opinion. I remember I talked to Patrick Bet David about it. He disagreed with me. I talked to Jose Zuniga about this. He disagreed with me as well. But to me, there's a superhuman skill that they have. And whenever I meet people who are succeeding or not succeeding in life, it's those superhero skills that I see void are the most common traits that lead to people to be hyper successful or not. And so I think to me, it's really changed the way I viewed the ability for everybody to be a certain person that you may have learned growing up when I believe that's just far from the case.
So, what surprised you about it?
For example, Patrick Bay David had this concept, and I don't, and he was talking about this concept before, and this concept is based upon the ability to work at high efficiency levels. So, what people don't realize is everybody works hard.
Yeah.
Everybody does. That's the reality. People say we're all working hard. Yes, that's true. But for how long can you work hard for? That's the biggest separation. Everyone, everybody on their best days is a great husband, a great wife, a great mother, a great father, a great employee, a great business leader, a great politician, a great whatever. Everybody on their best days, I personally believe, are really good at what they do. But the difference is some people can do that 5 days a week. People can do that 2 days a week. Some people can do that one day a month. And so what I found with the most highly successful people is their ability to function at high efficiency levels for the longest amount of time possible. And that to me is the superhero strength that they have that most people don't have. Most people can give you a great day 4 days a week. And it's very similar to sports.
Yeah.
When you think about the best athletes, like American football, this guy named Tom Brady. I believe they said Tom Brady has not had a season when he's lost more than, I believe it was 6 games in the past 12 years. Some people, they have on years, on games, off games, on weeks, off weeks, on months, off weeks. The greatest of these rarely have off weeks, occasionally have off days, but never ever have off months. And so I think that's one of the biggest things I've noticed was a huge difference between highly successful individuals and those who are not.
So it's not even about kind of routines, rituals, and habits. It's they just have sort of infinite supply of energy.
It's not even energy. It's like it's a formula that's so multivariable. I can't even explain it. Like some people have internal motivation. Some people they can only be motivated. Like for example, let's say somebody went to Tony Robbins' speech.
Yeah.
People can use a Tony Robbins speech to be motivated for 5 days. People can take that same speech and be motivated for 50 days. People can take that same speech and be motivated for 500 days. And then some people don't even need that speech to be motivated.
Yeah.
That's the difference. Some people, they need external factors to stimulate them to get up. Some people just get up in the morning.
That's common in sports, actually. When you look at when people talk about legends and stuff like that, the people that talk about them who played alongside them in any sport that I've listened to or know anything about, they always talk about that they were just always practicing, they were always training, they were always on the court, the pitch, the ring. They always just Christmas Day. Actually, when I was growing up, there was a decathlon athlete called Daley Thompson, and he won a couple of Olympics. He won the 1984 Los Angeles Olympics, and one of his big things was he turned up for training on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
365 days a year. He just said, well, because my competitors aren't. That's why I win and they don't.
Yeah.
It's like, what days do you have off? He says, I don't have any off days. I train
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah.
Birthdays, anniversaries, Christmas. My job's to train.
Yeah. So things like that, it puts things into perspective about things. Like, for example, I'll even use myself as an example. I met a young man a couple of years ago who's now a dear friend of mine named Jose Zuniga. He's a popular YouTuber. And when I met him, he told me a story about how he became a millionaire, made his first million, I believe, at 21 or 22. And so I made it. I was like, man, I'm making my goal to make $1 million that year after hearing him share it. And I remember doing the math, and I believe it's either about like $83,000 or $84,000 a month, which is $1 million. So I think I did it once. And ever since then, my energy has been like this. And I went to Jose's YouTube channel because I struggle with a lot of things when it comes to YouTube. And I went back and I saw this man's been posting 5 videos a week for the past 8 years straight.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, I was like, that's why he's where he's at. That's why he's where he's at. I couldn't do it for 8 months straight. He can do it for 8 years. And so it's just little things like that where you start to see that there's a difference in the productivity, the activity of those individuals and those who are trying to get to where they're at.
So yes, it's that kind of, that I suppose that old term saying it's that drive.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
just when
And
you
then
said
not only the drive, it's also how you deal with punches,
okay.
aka obstacles. Some people hit an obstacle and they cave in. Some people, and there's real life obstacles, right? Now I'm not trying to jobs are lost, cancer, diseases, fires, earthquakes. There's real life obstacles that negatively affect people's lives. And so to me, the difference between those that excel and those who don't is the ones that excel, the obstacles knock them down, they don't keep them down. And some people, that's not the case.
No, some people, like you say, for some people, when they get knocked down, it's deep, and that some don't have the strength or don't have the tools to pick themselves back up.
Yeah, 100%.